Hi, I'm Conrad from Decker's Nursery. I welcome everybody back. Thank you very much for all the input. I'm glad last week's video was helpful. We had a lot of people coming in, didn't realize that it's a good time to actually get started in your garden. So what has happened now is you're inspiring me to keep doing these videos to see if we can gain some interest into vegetable gardening and growing your own food. So this week I wanted to share some of the new products we have and help you design an herb garden. So an herb garden is very simple to put together. You can personalize it any way you want. I'm going to work with a few that I like to have, but I'm kind of excited about these new planters we've brought in. When I saw these, they seemed very appropriate for people that don't have a lot of room to grow herbs in a garden, but have like a terrace, and you're going to need good sunlight in order for the herbs to perform well. You're going to need at least 4 hours of sunlight and preferably 6 hours. But anyway, these containers come apart. You can find them in the store just like this. It has a tray that'll gather any runoff, and there's separate bins that you can use to compartmentalize your herbs and whatever you want. These would work for flowers just as well, and we're going to probably do another video on flower plantings as in the near future. So these are simple to use. They are durable. They can stay outside for the winter. So if you're using perennial herbs that come back every year, you can leave them out for the winter. So let's get started. I just want to put a quick note in. This is a radius soil scoop. As you know, we use the Espoma potting soil here at Decker's Nursery. I like this tool because I'm always in a hurry when I'm planting at this time of year. This is a large scoop and allows me to fill these containers very quickly. And that's the other nice feature of this planter, is you can fill these individually and then stack them on top of each other as you plant them out. So I've gone ahead and started this one. Some of the herbs I'm working with right now are the mints. So I've elected to use spearmint and mojito mint, and I put them down at the bottom because they have a tendency to run, and they'll probably start to poke up at other parts of the container. That's just their nature, but that's good. That means you're getting a nice full crop. So I have the two mints down at the bottom, and then I have the white peppermint and peppermint that I'm going to combine in the back or the front, I guess. But these are very simple to install. Just take it out of the pot. I just squeeze the pot lightly just to free it up. And I just work the roots a little bit just to get a little bit of separation. Okay, and that encourages the roots to go out radially. So I filled the pot earlier, and I just work this down inside. I bring the height of the soil right up to here because I don't want the herbs reaching to get out, cause them to get leggy. So I filled right up to the top with that. This is something else I found out. So as I'm planting, I can just take soil from the other compartments to fill in, and prevents a little bit of a mess. So just tuck that in firmly. You don't want any air between the soil and the plant. Okay, I'm using all organic herbs today from Marion Gardens and Gilberti's. These are our two primary vegetable and herb growers, and their plants come with tags. So very important to keep them marked because you'll forget what you have, and that's part of the experience. So this is how you learn about the plants. You'll watch how they grow and how you can use them. So mints are good to use in teas. A lot of people use them in summer beverages, and they're just fun to have around. They're very easy to grow. So I pull them, same thing, just separate them in. And one of the questions is probably, isn't it too close together? And not really, because these plants will figure it out. And you want to have a nice full planter, but you probably could get by with one, and that'll help to keep the cost down a little bit. But I thought just for display purposes, you can get an idea of how to plant these out. So again, I'm just making sure the soil has good contact with the plant, and then once we water that, that'll be ready to go. And just want to make sure I don't lose the tag. So okay, so some of the other herbs I've decided to use today. In the back here, it's kind of hard to spin this, but I'm using creeping thyme in the back. And then I have some other thyme in front, just the lemon thyme, and I'm using marjoram in conjunction with the thyme. So they'll both figure their space out. They're going to drape over the planter, and that'll make it very easy to harvest and take cuttings for the kitchen use or any way you decide to use the herbs. Over here on the other side, I'm using my oreganos. So we have Sal's Choice, which is always a very popular herb. And so I have the Sal's Choice oregano and the Greek oregano. And I wanted to fill this, so I'll use both of them together when I'm cooking. I don't do the cooking, by the way. So, up at the top, I wanted to get a little bit of height. So chives are a necessity if you're doing herbs. They're very easy. They're going to fill in, but it's easy to contain them as well. So this is a nice feature for the top if you decide to use this planter. Chives are good. But if you're doing an herb garden in a different type of container, I would encourage you to do some chives, absolutely. I'm going to finish this off with some lavender and some of the rosemary. So everybody needs rosemary and thyme, right? As the song goes. So I'm going to use my lavenders together, and it doesn't matter the type of lavender. These are the pint-sized organic herbs that we have available. And it's okay to force that plant down in there a little bit. You can see I'm pushing it down. The herbaceous plants are very forgiving. The roots will figure it out. They'll take the space they need to have to survive. Same thing with annual flowers. When you're putting your containers together, you can put a little effort into that. So anyway, this is a really simple herb garden to put together. We try to make it as easy as possible at Deckers. And if you need some help picking out the plants for your herb garden, we're more than happy to help you here. What I want to finish with in closing, this is an awkward time of year. This is when people are very anxious to get their gardens planted with the summer vegetables, the tomatoes, the cucumbers, the peppers. So we bring some of those in. There are people that want to make sure they have the plants. It's very important you understand there's still a risk of frost. The long-term forecast is not calling for it, but we feel it's our responsibility not to bring them in too early so that you're not losing plants. So if you have questions on that, again, we're here at the nursery to help you make those decisions, but be careful. You're going to have plenty of time to get all of those summer plants together. But don't miss out on all the opportunities that are available now in the cooler seasons. We're still getting cool temperatures at night, and you want to pay attention to that so that you're not having any losses and disappointments. So anyway, I'll look forward to seeing you in the garden. Okay.